Hello, everybody. Brian here, 10 to 5, January 4th. We are going to look at new changes have added for the Binance movement, we'll call it. Analysis for crypto. I'm going to show you just in the last hour where things are at and what I'm planning to do with some new analytical updates that I've added. Okay, so before we get started, make sure you get on our daily newsletter. quantlabs.net/contact. You can go there, get on our newsletter. We send out stuff like this every day, so you can be notified. We're also expanding into ETFs as well as potentially retail forex and microcaps using using interactive brokers. So let's look at what I've got here. So right now I've just added this new set of updates. If you know about my Python course, building bots and all that, this is all the data now coming in from Binance. This is just generated in the last hour or so. So I'll be posting this sort of stuff on my private chat server at quantlabs.info, but you have to be a member to get access to this. This is going to get updated. I don't know how often, but it'll be regularly updated. But what we're including here are the top performing coins. I'm going to show this to you. So we have right now coin entry score. So this is the entry quality on the breakout. I'm going to show you these. This is the score using the order book ratio, and then we have the slope. So the slope matters because the steeper the slope, the higher probability of profit. And these are over the last 2 to 3 months, this slope is generated. And generally you want to stay away from coins that have negative slope because they're just not trending. Well, they're actually negative. So you don't want to really trade those. So adding this slope here is very important because this is the slope of the trend line over the last 2 to 3 months. So let's look at those right now using ofthis. So I'm gonna just give you some examples here. So if you look at, we have here ARUSDT, and again, this is in Binance. Okay, Binance.com, not Binance.us. So you can see here, we've got potentially a breakout potential here. Now also I could show you the reports that you probably have seen regarding the Word documents with the bearish and bullish signals using candlesticks. So it's just a matter of combining that with these, what I'm about to show you here, and just being able to filter out some of the weaker performing coins. So right now, let me just pull up AR here again. And again, this is where you make, well, basically you build wealth with these type of moves. And knowing about them and trading them as the timing persists. Doesn't look like I can use that. Anyways, let me just move on to the next one. We have here Dash. That trend's not so strong, but let's check out this one. Now this is a daily, but if I go down to usually a 15-minute, you'll see it. But it's still that general trend down. So these sort of this type of data helps out finding the real winners. So right now, I'm just showing you the top 3. So Ethereum Classic shows breakout potential. I don't see that at all. QTUM's another one. And the other one we have, I'll show you two more. So we have QTUM, and then we also have OMG. So that's been fairly flat, and then I'll show you OMG and maybe one more as well. Okay, so we have OMG, and then I'll show you Theta. Okay, so these are not very exciting. Okay, you can see there were moves over the last 15 minutes, but one thing I have noticed is that, I'll just show you Theta here. Now, one thing, we had a big up move probably earlier today, but now we're in the tail end of it. So again, 15-minute view. There's one for you, Theta, but it did drop back, but it's starting to recover. So that's just one potential example. So what makes this any different is there's really no difference using this data, but one thing to use is this right here. These ones. These are trading chart setups that have both a, so if I go down to CLER, this is right here, okay, that's a breakout, plus it has a positive order book ratio, plus it has positive, barely a positive trend or slope. Let me just see that. So this is CLR. So you can see it did have a big move earlier today, may trend back up. It probably is looking better. The other one was CHR. So let me look at that one. So CELR can perform over a couple of days, which is clearly doing. So you can see here, same with CHR, is starting to potentially come back. You can obviously know that in the 5-minute chart, but if I was to generate this data again, we'd be able to see that if that's the case. So let me just pull up now the, let me pull up another terminal here. Now the nice thing with this is I get to only focus on, for this is, let me just pull up all my Word documents that you're probably used to the last few days. So again, we'll go through those and correlate this list to see if there's any relationship we can see that can predict breakouts. Okay, so this is what we want. So I'm going to go through these. So the way to do that is by putting in the last date here. So it's the 4th. So that usually gets updated at 7 p.m. So I have to use yesterday's date. So here you can see we have a bullish signal for Cardano. Now the question is, do we see Cardano on this list? And the answer is no. Now that could change, obviously, and it most likely will. But how do I know that? The best thing to do is to look at the live trading chart. So if you look at Cardano, you can clearly see it. It has a big long-term trend. It just had a pretty decent crash from $1.35 down to $1.32. So this may start to move again. So from what I'm seeing, these Word documents can be fairly reliable. So let me go back to the, what was it, short? Yeah, this one right here. So I'm going to continue looking for any other ones. That's it for that document or report. So now we're going to look at unfiltered long, or any of these really. So another thing I've updated is the list of coins that I use for the top 10 to 15 coins that move to update the weighted average. You can see it's fairly negative at -1, and that gets updated every 15 minutes, or will be used to update every 15 minutes. That's another metric I can use. So now we're going to start looking at other reports here from the Word documents. Let's look at this one. So this is the unfiltered by long. So let's see here what we got again. So here we have another bullish signal for compound dash, and let's look at those two. So, oh, I'm sorry. One thing I forgot about Cardano is there it is. Cardano 17. The slope is not that strong, but it's still barely positive. So, you know, it's still something to definitely look at in terms of potential breakout. Okay, so the next one we are looking at are two more, compound and dash. So here's compound. You can see that there was a nice big move here from price here at 215 all the way up to 236. That's a big move. That's dropped back and stabilizing. So again here, looking at this, I'm looking for a compound. So here's compound right here. It's still looking pretty strong. So that, and it's got a fairly strong slope as well. So this is something I'd definitely consider. I think I've done this prediction before, and compound did move, oddly enough. So that's a pretty good one. Now let's look at Dash. Okay, so if I can find ways to automate this, there's two strategies here that can come out of it. It's the usual one that I did with Kraken, and the other potential is with using Python 100% for the execution. So that can run 24 hours. So here you can see the volatility in Dash. The dip wasn't that bad, but if you look at the same patterns, we did get a bit of a move up from 135 to 138. Nothing to really get excited about, but let me see here in Dash what we've got. Yeah, see, I don't have Dash here in this list at all. So that tells you I don't think I would consider Dash to break out. Okay, next one. So going on to the next report, this is again from Unfiltered Long. So now we have two types of long reports. Okay, so the next one we have are two. There's one filtered by trends, so let's look at that. There's all kinds of data to look at between what I've just shown you using this and for entry quality based upon the breakout potential and any other potential numbers here. So we have near. Here's the problem with near right now. Near performs really well, but look at near right here. Near is all negative, so there's definitely a sell signal here. This one has a bullish signal on near, but let's look at the chart. So near, okay, so with near, you can see this nice big breakout here. That's pretty good. $14 to $17, and now it's dropped back and it's kind of sitting there. But when I see these sort of things, I would be like probably high risk move at this point to potentially want to trade that. The other thing is, okay, it has a positive slope, so that's important. Next one we got is near. And that looks like that's it for that report. And then next one we have is long filtered on volume. So let me put that in. So after 7 p.m., instead of searching for January 3rd, I'd be searching for January 4th for the most up-to-date. So again, we have Cardano. We already looked at that. Gala is interesting one. Let's look at that one. So Gala has been moving pretty good. I'll check that other list here. So here's Gala. You can see it just has not traded at all. So we have here Gala. Here it is. So Gala does potentially break out, has a negative order book ratio. And again, that can fluctuate at any time. I mean, that's in real time. And then we have a positive, not a very strong positive trend or slope. And you can see that slope here, right here. Okay, so that's what that refers to. In terms of actual real chart, this doesn't really do a lot for me. We've got this negative trend, and it could come back. It could come back. I'm not saying it will or will not, but let me just see what else we've got in here. So we have one, which is Harmony. I'm getting used to these old or these coins here listed on Binance that I haven't been on for a while. So it's similar with one big drop here. You can see here another way to know the price action. The updates are fairly quick on that compared to Gallet's a lot more slow moving. CELR not so much, but one or Theta is another example. Not updating as fast, but one seems to be somewhat there it is, fairly active. Now let's look at one. Here's one. Is it in this list here? Let's see. 1. Right here. So had a breakout potential, negative order book, and a very, very weak trend. Now if I look at that trend here, let's see here. So I have all these data points I can look at. All this spam stuff. So yeah, it's not as strong as probably some of the other coins. And another thing you can look at are these signals. So we missed that buy signal there. It's another thing I don't really factor a whole lot of. But let's continue on to the next coin. So here we're back to Cardano. That's pretty well it. Okay, so it's just a matter of trying to find out the relationship between the slope as the first filter to see is it even worth looking at. If the slope is negative, I'd say no, because it's a very temporary coin that has an up move, but generally it will have a strong down move because its trend is negative. Pretty obvious, right? So there's that. The other factors we can look at that I have talked about in a small amount is this number here, the entry. Now this entry is built around all the charts and stuff that you get, data points that I look at. It's a combination of everything and summarized into one general number. But usually what weighs that mostly are the candle signals as well as moving average crosses. Those are the top most reliable indicators you can use for if you're going to have a down or up move over the next, let's say, day or so. That's from my experience in crypto. Now, in terms of the score, it's pretty simple. That's the order book ratio. And the other one that's now another factor, just not to take a trade if you have a negative slope or a negative trend, as I've talked about. So those are the big indicators. So that's pretty well it that I want to show. Now, how will this show up in my chat server? So if you go to my quantlabs.info, in there you will find this information. Okay, I'm updating it. So in here, this is only for my paying members. So if you go under the analytics room, which is a hidden room, yeah, you have to get access to that on my invite. But here, if I go down, you'll see here I've included that what I just showed you on my terminal, so you get all that access as well as the latest data as well. So I'm not sure how often I'll update this because it changes so generally so quickly, but generally using this combination of this data as well as this, you can get a general idea of what will move. And as I use the concept when it comes to trades using the this strategy here, the one that I've customized for my paying members is the MACD. What's it called? The reverse MACD for entry, and then combined with the trailing stop for the exit. So you can still use that strategy in Binance, not a problem. So that's what I'm intending to use. But moving forward, I'm also working on a bot in Python that will do this. This will run 24 hours. So I'm going to run those in parallel and compare which outperforms versus the other. Because the advantage with using a platform like MotiveWave, using that combined set of indicators, the reverse MACD with the trailing stop, what I find is that's pretty good. And when you know you have a trading setup, you just open it, apply the strategy, and then let it run. That can work if there's overall momentum in the market. And again, what the metric you're looking for is this one, is the overall weighted moving average, because this fluctuates, and if this is fairly helps quantify where things are at. So you can see during this video went from -1 to just over 0.1, which shows it's getting stronger. So you're able to quantify that, and then maybe, just maybe, the ones that you choose will start to turn profit and have entry signals and have the entry markers, and then start trading for you. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is via the trading bots in Python, and then be able to run that 24 hours in an automated way where you don't have to look at it and manage it. Whereas this way with MotiveWave, you have to manually set up your trading chart setups, and then manually apply the strategy to get it to run. And that could be disadvantaged, because then you're going to miss out on those coins that move while, let's say, you're sleeping or watching TV or whatever. So that's pretty well the pros and cons of each. But that's the general way I'm looking at stuff. Other than that, so again, just to remind you, get on my email list again, via the Quant Labs contact. You also can get on this private chat server at quantlabs.info, and again, that's quantlabs.net/contact right here, right there. Quantlabs.net/contact, and I'll take you to this page, and you can just fill it out and send it or sign up, and you're on the daily newsletter. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll help you out later.